It's like, why does this matter at all?
Oh, it's very nihilism-inducing, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's nihilism-inducing. If there's a group of smart, tech-savvy, conscious, well-meaning people, and you want to keep them from being effective actors, you could just tell them that, it's a simulation and none of this matters.
That would target a powerful group.
If you were having a problem with a coalition of pizza detectives, and you wanted to take those types of cats out of the picture, I think
we were talking about that before, because I considered this a possible nihilism inducer. Well, here's the thing, is that no matter what, it already is a nihilism inducer. Whether it's successful or it fails, it already did induce nihilism in people for how many years, I don't know.
The atheist guy that goes on like Joe Rogan, he's so forgettable. Who cares? When he talks in his videos, he is trying to hypnotize the listener.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he talks so softly, is so you have to go, what's he saying? He's so soft and careful with his words, you have to pay extra attention. That's hypnosis, man. But, what he said, which was kind of interesting, was if this is a simulation, there's nothing to say that the people or entity that created the simulation is not an atheistic entity. So you could have theists, you could have the equivalent of Scientologists who created this reality. And so to us, Malok, or whatever,
they're users, like in Reboot.
Could be real. Yeah, they could be users. It could be factually real in the bounds of this simulation.
Yeah, I get that. They could be the real gods manipulating the universe, like an ant farm, doing an ant farm up. That has some sense to that. You must really like comedy then.
You think about a puddle in the ground, and it's in like a pothole, and the shape of that pothole has a certain curvature to it. And if the puddle could think, it might think, why am I curved like this? You know what I mean? Like, we certainly did hit the cosmic lottery by existing. But
it's kind of a big gamble, isn't it?
Just the fact that we're here means that we're winners.
That makes sense to me, and I think that the odds are very astronomical that people come out of the soup. I think it's possible. But I also think it's more likely that some soup material was either sent here or got here on an asteroid or something else. That soup material seems like a seed plant as opposed to an organic thing, and at least how I feel about it.
One thing I think about from time to time that would refute that, it's based on stuff that I've seen everywhere, because you see it in car design. Cars from different parts of the world, like pre-internet, have identical concepts or things that come about at the same time, and you see it in humor too. Like Nick always sees stuff on SNL that it looks like they're ripping us off, or not just necessarily SNL, but other places that looks like they're ripping us off. I think it's just, if you have a zeitgeist and you're trying to think of things that are funny, you inevitably come upon certain concepts that just are waiting there to be plucked from the ether, and multiple people can do that without necessarily stealing from each other. In evolution, there's a thing called convergent evolution, and I think this might be completely false, but I think there are like volcanic vents in the ocean where they're so far from each other that they couldn't possibly, pollinate. Like, you couldn't have an organism pollinate this other one from its position.
Yeah.
It's like, can you imagine an animal the size of an elephant with 6 legs? And like, you think, well, that's completely possible. But no, it's not possible, because if it were possible, there would be an animal that size, or like the size of a lion or something, with 6 legs.
They would have made it here.
Yeah, but it's not possible, because 6 legs is more complex. It's injecting complexity into a system, and it doesn't bring enough benefit to warrant the additional complexity.
Yeah. So it's kind of like how humans evolved to expend less energy remaining upright.
Yeah, and I mean, if you can probably verify this if you have one of those computer modeling, those evolution things where they have the block things and they walk like this at first.
Yeah.
And they do the walk cycles. If you do that on multiple computers, you probably end up with like 10 different things that all sort of walk similarly at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because according to the parameters of that system,
And our gravity on the planet.
yeah, and according to the way it's set up, those are the things that just naturally arise. So I think that if there were, unless we were seeded by some asteroid or something, I don't think that happened.
Huh.
Maybe it did. I don't know. But I think...
Well, it wouldn't be...
Yeah. But in any case...
Seed my planet, please.
Yeah. But in any case, if you have another planet that's remarkably similar to Earth, which, given the parameters for what we know as life, is like a certain temperature, a certain acidity, etc., you would probably have like humanoid things evolving. And it makes sense it just makes sense if you had if being social is a benefit to survival, they would probably develop language. And if a more complex, rich language is more beneficial to a survival, well, then you'd probably even have languages that aren't that dissimilar from what we have on Earth. It just comes about based on the opportunities that there are for some organism to flourish into something more complex.
No, that makes more sense. But I like thinking of. It seems like there could be more than one planet in our solar system that was devastated like that. I mean, I don't know, but it seems like there is. But then you can't. How could we possibly? We don't know anything about this planet at all. So, what do we know? We know the surface of this planet, a little bit of the sky, a little bit of the surrounding area, but nothing in the ocean or deep down. It's crazier. It's crazier there than it is a million light years around us in space. It's crazier in the ocean. There's probably big Buicks, living Buicks at the bottom of the ocean, talking all different kinds of crazy stuff. They're keeping their eyes closed, like this. The pressure's a lot of pressure down here. They're totally see-through. It's a Buick. Like it's just, and who knows, and all those things that live down there. So that's why it's hard to even form any sort of. We know so little information. How could we theorize on any creation on the planet?
We need Neil deGrasse Tyson in this car.
What we need him on a green screen, flying on a zoop, 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 zoop. Now it's time to go past the stars. Come with me on my magic machine. Just a big oaf. A big oaf that they said was the smartest man in the world. I'm not saying he's not smarter than me, but I just don't know. Has he contributed anything? Other than being on like a show, on a green screen show? I'm going to show you what it's like a million years in the future. No, a million years that way. Let's go. So as you see, we're in the middle of nowhere. I couldn't tell you what's on the other side of that because there's no way for us to get there. Let's go back to planet Earth, home base. Home base, pick up Neil. He comes back. Oh, so that was a crazy adventure guy. Pee-wee comes in. You know, I saw that, man. I wanted to piss in the guy's face. Like, it was so insulting, man. I thought he was gonna have kids come around, dance around him in a circle. It was sick. But Sagan wasn't much better. That guy he didn't do anyone any good favors. He's like this: the world's gonna end because the climate's getting warmer. No, he set us back quite a bit. He's like, yeah, you see on the calendar of Earth, we're all the way, like this is a billion years and we're only right here. The credits start rolling. That's as much as we know, everybody. The credits are going. Now you see the quasar, the pulsar, you see the thing is collapsing and it's spinning and you only get the beam of light when it's a 90-degree angle right facing you, so that's why you can only see it every time it spins around every half revolution. I'm like this. This is all theoretical, right? Yeah! Have you ever seen... I don't know! The black holes? Yeah, there's nothing. There's dark matter all around us, enough to power the universe. How do we harness it? Well, you see, Thomas Edison put a stop to that. It all starts with Thomas Edison and the AC/DC stuff and fucking Tesla. Oh man, he was shaking down buildings, energy, and all that stuff. And that's what it probably is. It's like an ultimate cataclysm event is like a reverse Tesla coil where it just sends energy everywhere and destroys instead of sucking in. It's like a vacuum on reverse. It's like something like, don't flip that switch the wrong way. It just destroys the whole planet. That's crazy to think of that stuff happening.